So this one's called karma neutralization, and it has to do with the idea that society tends to repeat its mistakes because it doesn't know how to neutralize its own karma. You do the same. You do not know how to get outside of a vicious cycle of acting in a way that you think is natural but is really, at least from a certain perspective, unconscious because you haven't taken the time to reflect on it. So one of the first tools for karma neutralization is reflection, meditation, contemplation, stopping the wheel of action and sitting in stillness. If you can't do that, if you do not know how to stop watching movies, how to stop reading books, how to stop writing in your journal, but how to, just sit. Although journaling is getting pretty close to what I'm talking about, I really think the essence of this discipline is stillness, so that you realize what karma really is, because you can't see karma as long as you're creating more and more and more of it. You can't see how you are complicit in building the wall, as Pink Floyd might say, between yourself and others, or between yourself and your higher self. And to me, that's what karma really is. Karma is a stumbling block. Karma is something you have to get over. Karma is a resistance to change. There may be such a thing as good karma. There may be such a thing as liberated from karma, or ever free from any of those constraints. In fact, that's a term in Hinduism called Jivan Mukta. It means one who's attained freedom from karma, and that doesn't mean they've perfected themselves, because there's another whole class of people in Hinduism called the ever perfect. Now, they may not be karma-free, but they're always perfect when they manifest that, like they already have all their gifts honed, and they don't have to go through grave, trials and tribulations just to come to terms with themselves. But what eventually happens is karma cannot be neutralized effectively without the perspective generated by inward reflection. Okay, that's just one aspect. Another aspect is to change your relationship to the modern world. Do not allow yourself to go shopping at Walmart, for instance. That will change your karma. Why? Because even though Walmart has been very rigorous in all of its attempts to apply sustainability solutions and metrics to their product suppliers, the inherent supply chain dynamics of a huge organization like that has centralized production warehouses in China and places like that to provide us all this schlock, and I'm not just singling out Walmart. I think dollar stores and other places like that too are very dangerous to your karma, because you have no idea the unseen effects of being part of the throwaway society on your children. It's unseen because it's going to affect your children, not you. Okay, but that's nevertheless karma. Now, whether you believe it or not, it's going to hurt your soul. You're not going to feel good about yourself either here or in the hereafter if you know you left your children here to suffer. Okay, so that's another way to get rid of karma, is to have compassion for the future. To understand the future is the direct result of your actions today. Now, if you have the ability to change your karmic patterns, and you do have the ability to stop shopping at Walmart because you're not convinced that they have the best interests of future generations at heart, then something begins to change where your karmic burden is less. So in other words, as you shift your karmic patterns and you divorce yourself from the unsustainable patterns, another character of energy comes into your life, and it's one where maybe you aren't having to negotiate so many stumbling blocks, at least in your mind, and you know what's true. You are clear about what is true, and it doesn't come from dogma. It comes from direct perception of the true nature of things. Karma actually has a way of deluding us into thinking that the way we are performing now is the way we're meant to perform. But I promise you that private gain does not yield beneficial results for the future generations that are to come. So how then, without causing a whole contingent of people to call you a communist, do you begin to think about the commonwealth? How do you begin to think about the common vision of humankind and where everyone will ultimately be in 120 years, when either we've averted climate change or we've had to go through a massive die-off of people on this planet as a result of climate change? There could be only 3 to 5 billion people left on this planet if it goes out of control. Now that is karma in itself too. That if a natural system exists that's in relative homeostasis and yet a human population comes along and destroys the carbon sinks of the planet, namely the self-regulating biosphere components, i.e. forests, and we start to deplete the hydrological and other oceanic cycles, the biodiversity of the planet goes down and the oxygen building ocean reefs and phytoplankton communities begin to suffer from altered climatological conditions and ocean acidification. When that stuff starts to happen, guys, we are actually sliding down the slippery slope of total global calamity. So karma will exact a price in our lives, possibly, as well as for sure our children's lives, if we don't begin to reverse and neutralize our karmic debts. So I don't believe in the New Age philosophy that it's all good, and this is what humanity needs to learn, and that's why we're putting ourselves through this. I believe we need to have learned it by now. And we need to move ahead now with the global plan for restoring the human vision, for restoring biodiversity, for ensuring that this planet is never lost to the tides of our ignorance. Because even if climate change is a natural cycle, as many of the conservatives will tell you, we humans have the creative capacity to confront that and shift it. Peace.